I have to admit, I thought my surprise quotient was filled for the year when McAdoo benched Manning. But this, I gotta tell you, on the all-time scale, is up there between Bucky Dent and Charlie Rose.
If you don't want to represent me, that's okay.
I don't want to represent you. I have to represent you. Cases like this wet my whistle, so to speak. So, what did the little bastard do to you?
This is a mistake.
Okay. I'll skip the whole self-defense angle.
I'm sorry I wasted your time, Mr. Dworkin.
Randy, and my point is, this whole thing is a sick joke. You killed something that 9 out of 10 doctors would say wasn't alive.
What about the 10th doctor?
In New York City, sexually based offenses are considered especially heinous. These are their stories.
Hey guys, welcome to Munch My Benson. My name is Adam. I'm here on another dark night in New York City. I am joined on the line by Josh. How are things, Josh?
Things are fine. We just had a fruitful call with a friend of the pod, Sean, about something else.
Yeah.
It was a good call. It's a perfect call.
Ideal call. Yeah. Couldn't be a better call.
Perfect call.
Well, today, Max and I went to the American Museum of Natural History from Night at the Museum fame or many other things.
Catcher in the Rye.
Royal Tenenbaums. Many things.
Squid and the Whale.
We actually, the funny thing is we were going around to there's like these kind of giant dioramas, right? And we were going around to all of them. And the Squid and the Whale one, which I think about, is off in a corner and it's very dark because it's supposed to depict life at the bottom of the sea. And funny enough, the 2-year-old was not interested in that one. So we just kind of kept moving and saw, the walruses and the...
Well, it's because Billy Baldwin wasn't there in his tennis
it's true.
playing outfit.
But it's really something. It's I was telling the wife, it's like a time capsule of what you
assume the Natural History Museum at the Smithsonian, what you assume that looked like 40 years ago?
Well, no, but it's really interesting because it's like this amazing taxidermy art that somebody made in like the 30s, right? Mm-hmm. But it's a perspective that has totally changed. 180-degree change in how you would present sort of those things today. But they do a pretty good job of maybe squaring that circle.
No, you got to remember that in the 30s, people were more racist.
Oh, and that's like one of the first,
with little concern for how it appears.
So we got a gift membership, which was very generous. So it means I don't have to like force the child to like trudge through that place for like 10 hours to see everything. We can just do an hour and come back, but. So we could go in through the member entrance and not have to go in with all the hoi polloi tourists. But right next to the member entrance, there's this one of those diorama things, which is insanely problematic. It shows like the original sort of Dutch colonists greeting the Lenape tribesmen. And the way they presented it nowadays in 2022 is they don't even let you read how problematic it is on like they'll put like a little like card thing like you see at many museums where they give maybe a modern perspective on what you're looking at. On this one, they actually like put like on the glass like this isn't okay and here's why. But at the same time, here's what it got right and here's what it got wrong. They did a pretty good job of like forcing you to engage with that. So it's kind of an awesome place. It's mind-boggling how big it is. We saw, I don't know, 20th of it maybe. Something like that.
Did you have to use a bathroom while you were there?
No, didn't use the bathroom.
I still remember how piss-soaked the bathrooms at that museum were.
When did you go? I wonder if it's been updated since then. But also, it depends on when you go, like, because
how many kids were there to piss everywhere?
There's, now even with COVID protocols, they like capping the, you have to have a time ticket, shit like that. Sure. Still, there's 10,000 people in that place, probably. Oh, but that was fun. So we did that, and then I watched this episode, and man, I gotta tell you, this episode kind of wiped my slate as far as having profound thoughts about the world, about things around me. This is our first. This is our trial balloon with a Munchies Select kind of line of episodes. I think we're talking about doing this once every 20 episodes,
yeah,
right?
I think so. I think that's where we're not overloading everything.
Yeah, are we doing like like leap years? We're letting like the 200th episode not be one of those, or I don't know. There's some kinks to work out. It doesn't really matter, but still, we're going to be letting you all select these on a fairly regular basis. And
wow, what a selection this time around.
It's going to be hard to top this one as far as raising our eyebrows. That's for sure. So I don't have our Patreon open, so I don't know who selected this, Josh, but we are watching The Undiscovered Country. It's season 19, episode 13. Who picked it for us, Josh?
I'm looking it up. Give me a second.
There is a special place somewhere for this Munchie, that's for sure.
It was Karen. The note with the choice was, "Hi, my Munchies Choice suggestion is season 19, episode 13, The Undiscovered Country. If ever an episode deserved to be deconstructed, it's this one. Poor Barba." I knew what we were getting a little bit with this one. I hadn't seen it in a very long time. I mostly am aware of it because of how much people on the SVU Reddit hate this episode. It comes up a lot. I don't know why they would hate it.
I'm not sure, Josh. We'll have to dive into this. Yeah. We'll talk about more when we get into it. But first, are you drinking anything right now?
Sure as hell am.
Nice.
On our previous call, I drank a Toppling Goliath Brewing Company Pseudo Sue Pale Ale, which is very good. Toppling Goliath is, sort of a regionally respected craft brewery. And now I'm drinking Bullet Rye Rocks.
Nice. I was drinking a Founders All Day IPA first time round. Now I have the last dregs of my Bullet Bourbon bottle and a lime
I just finished
LaCroix.
Mine too. I'm depressed.
Yeah, it's
I
sad.
have to go out to the liquor store tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't know. But so without further ado, Undiscovered Country. We begin with a moving memorial service for Season 1, Original Series ADA Ben Stone. DA Jack McCoy is doing his morally superior head jerky thing while a church full of mourners look on. When he finishes his eulogy, he looks disapprovingly at Peter Stone, who declines to follow up his touching words. Across town, Maggie Householder, yes, that's her real name, Maggie Householder arrives home to find her babysitter bound and gagged and stuffed in a closet, and her infant son Drew gone. The babysitter tells Rollins that the boy's father Aaron took him and held a gun to her face. Maggie tells the team that Drew will die if he is not immediately put back on a ventilator. Drew has mitochondrial DNA depletion syndrome, which has turned him from a normal, seemingly healthy 2-month-old into a vegetable within 8 months. Finn finds Aaron's credit card statement, which leads them to a medical supply store, which in turn leads them to a house in South Brooklyn, where they wind up in a classic SVU hostage situation. Aaron is wildly waving around a long gun, and Liv decides the only way to defuse the situation is to make herself a hostage too, so she disarms herself and walks inside. The boy is sleeping safely, and the two of them talk about Noah and baseball and fatherhood and the fact that Maggie wants to end Drew's pathetic life. Liv starts to approach Aaron, who starts to get agitated, then she tells him she knows what a paintball gun looks like and takes it out of his quivering hands. Maggie, Barba, and Rollins talk about the pain of Drew's existence. Aaron tells Liv how he's still holding out hope for something that can be done for the child. The whole unit feels for both parents and the child and want to kind of sweep this whole thing under the rug. Barba, acting in a generally un-Barba-like fashion, bemoans the fact that he basically has to prosecute Aaron, but that he really just wants to go to sleep. McCoy and Peter Stone talk for a long time about Peter's dad, which eventually leads to Stone crying in a courtroom. Then, McCoy and Barba talk for another long time about Barba's shitty dad's miserable end of days, where the elder Barba was kept alive on life support for weeks because the younger Barba did not have the stones to make the decision to end his dad's suffering. McCoy tells Barba to cut a deal for probation with Aaron and move on. Barba, who at this point really isn't Barba, even though he's still played by Raul Esparza, goes to Mercy General where he finds Maggie staring at the, quote, lump of flesh that is her son. She tells him about the Kafkaesque wall of legal crap that's forcing her to leave Drew alive. Barba and Maggie have a big old heart-to-heart about her bad decisions and Drew's health problems. Finally, Barba tells her that they can end his pain right here and now. Maggie walks over to the ventilator but can't bring herself to press the off button, so Raphael Barba sends her out of the room and does it for her. Seems bad. The next morning, Liv is incredulous as a motherfucker when she hears the news. She goes to talk to D.A. McCoy in an attempt to save her bud's ass, but McCoy tells her what we all kind of expect. He can't have his ADAs killing children. It's a bad look. He then introduces Peter Stone to Liv and tells her that Stone will be prosecuting Barba. Barba hires defense attorney Randolph Dworkin to represent him. Dworkin is happy to argue on Barba's behalf and thinks that this is a clear case of gross governmental overreach and that you shouldn't be able to prosecute someone for the murder of something that wasn't really alive. At the trial, Stone makes Maggie feel bad, then he and Benson talk about parenthood, then Barba talks about flowers and Bach and clouds. Barba begins to cry on the witness stand and says he had to act to end the child's suffering, regardless of the legal consequences. Eventually, Barba is found not guilty of murder too. Stone gets his first taste of losing in New York Superior Court, though certainly not his last. McCoy tries to talk Barba out of leaving the DA's office.
I think you meant to say D's nuts office.
Yeah, seriously. McCoy tries to talk Barba out of leaving the DA's office. On the street outside, Liv finds Rafa staring up at the facade of the New York Supreme Courthouse. He tells her how when he came to this job, he just saw black and white, and she made him see first gray and then a full kaleidoscope of color in each and every case. And we are left with a Barba is moving on somewhere over the rainbow, Dick Wolf.
There's a raccoon staring at me.
Weird. Like through the window?
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. Sorry.
Does it look okay?
No, it's just dark. There were two raccoons fucking around. There's a bird feeder right next to the window that I'm looking at. So
right
it's all
on.
the droppings from the bird feeder.
Should we talk about that? One nice thing is that there's very few guest stars in this one.
So few that I was able to talk about. Well, we'll see. I'll get into it.
Interesting.
So we've already talked about Philip Winchester, who's playing Peter Stone.
Yep.
We talked about him back in Munch My Benson episode 29. Winters is Coming, where we were discussing season 19, episode 14, the one right after this, Chasing Demons.
Now, I tried to really watch this episode with fresh Peter Winchester eyes. Like, I'm just meeting him for the first, Peter Stone, Philip Winchester. With fresh Peter Stone eyes. Like, I'm meeting him for the first time. And that really colors my my view of what they were doing in this episode. But, moving on.
Yeah, that's fair. Then we've talked about Peter Jacobson before. Mm-hmm. He's playing Randy Dworkin. Mm-hmm. We talked about him back in Munch My Benson episode 31. It's a bad way to wake up if you're a recovering alcoholic.
Yeah.
Where we were watching season 13, episode 23, Rhodium Nights, where he was playing Bart Ganzel, which makes this a brain melter.
Sure does.
Because puzzlingly, and thanks entirely to Michael Chernuchin, he goes from being Randy Dworkin in the original series to Bart Ganzel in SVU, where Warren Light was running the show, and now that Michael Chernuchin is running it, he's back to being Randy Dworkin, a character who he existed as before Bart Ganzel.
Weird.
It's so dumb. Then we've also discussed Amy Brabson before. She's playing Judge Karen Black.
Yeah.
We talked about her back in Munch My Benson episode 64. It looks like he came straight from his job as future cop at the Bondage Club, where we were talking about the Michael Chernus episode, season 16, episode 17, Parole Violations. If you remember, Amy Brabson is Andre Brower's wife.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Now, Sam Waterston.
Yeah.
Playing District Attorney Jack McCoy. If you watched the original series, you've seen him a fucking lot.
You sure have.
Now, Jack McCoy was an executive ADA from 1993 to 2007, at which point he became the district attorney for the borough of Manhattan. Yeah, and he's still the DA because he's in the new episodes. This is the first time we've seen McCoy from the batch of 4 SVUs he's appeared in. Waterston was born in Cambridge, Massachusetts, to a landscape painter who descended from passengers on the Mayflower and a semanticist, language teacher, and emigrant from Leith, Scotland.
That means that Waterston's ancestors probably knew one of my ancestors, because I had a relative on the Mayflower, Josh.
I bet they didn't get along.
No, mine was apparently a dumbass. His name was John Howland. He fell off the boat, forced like delays in the whole journey.
Fun.
Yeah.
So Sam Waterston went to Groton School.
Of course he did.
And then got his BA from Yale.
Mm-hmm.
He did a ton of stage work. He's done a ton of stage work. He's done a ton of stage work, I suppose. Probably most notably as the titular character in Abe Lincoln in Illinois in 1993, for which he earned Tony, Drama Desk, and Outer Critics Circle Award nominations. He's twice married, with his first marriage with Barbara Rutledge Johns, producing his son James, who we saw back in Munch My Benson episode 49.
Yeah.
Where we're talking about real fake news. His second marriage was to former model Lynn Louisa Woodruff, with whom he had daughters Catherine and Elizabeth, who are both actresses, and his son Graham. I've been in a room with Catherine. Very tall.
Really?
She was also wearing a dress with a neckline that plunged to, I don't know, her navel.
Nice.
It was hard to look away from her.
But was this in one of your award show kind of? Yeah. That sounds like an award show
Ridley
dress.
Scott one, I think.
Yeah, nice.
On the big screen, you've seen him in 3: Cover Me, Babe, Savages, The Great Gatsby, Rancho Deluxe, Capricorn 1, Interiors, Heaven's Gate, The Killing Fields, which earned him an Oscar nomination.
Yep.
Hannah and Her Sisters, Crimes and Misdemeanors, The Man in the Moon, the one with Reese Witherspoon when she was a kid, Serial Mom, Nixon, Les Divorce, Miss Sloane, and On the Basis of Sex. On TV, he was nominated for 3 Emmys for his starring role in I'll Fly Away, which led right into his being cast as Jack McCoy on the original series, a role which he's played 382 times and counting between the original series, its revival, Homicide, Trial by Jury, SVU, and Exiled, a Law and Order movie.
Yeah.
And he has 3 more Emmy nominations for playing Jack McCoy. He was also Emmy nominated for Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Miniseries or Movie for his work in The Glass Menagerie back in 1974, and has a bunch of SAG and Golden Globe nominations with a win for each award. He played the lead in the miniseries, plural, Oppenheimer, Freedom to Speak, Lincoln, The Nightmare Years, Warburg, A Man of Influence. He was main cast in The Newsroom, Grace and Frankie, Godless, and The Dropout recently. All those are actually very recent.
Yeah.
He's done a ton of narration and voiceover work for Ken Burns, including as Lincoln in the Civil War. Abigail Hawke.
Gets shorter from here.
Gets a lot shorter from here. Abigail Hawke is playing Maggie Householder.
Yeah.
The dumbest. I mean what is it about season 19 names don't even make sense? Have you ever heard of someone with a last name Householder?
They're like, well, she has a house, so I think she's a householder.
Yeah. Kusenovich. Yeah. Just give us names that don't make us... The audience shouldn't have to think about how weird this name is.
Yeah.
You don't want to give them more reasons to wonder what you're thinking. Dude. Anyway, Abigail Hawke was born in Chicago. She attended North Springs Charter School for the Arts and Sciences in Sandy Springs, Georgia. She got her BFA in theater from the University of Maryland, College Park. While still a kid in school in 1995, she co-starred in a truly bizarre-sounding show, Reality Check, where Ryan Seacrest played a 19-year-old inventor who gets stuck in his computer mainframe project, and then Abigail, who was then Abigail Gustafson, and her TV brother reactivate the computer a few months later and have to try to get him out of the mainframe. What a weird fucking show.
It appears like it might be on Tubi.
It was syndicated. They're 15-minute episodes with commercials.
Yeah.
So, 12 minutes apiece. There were only like 14 or 15 episodes or something. Now, she's also been in the films Across the Universe, The Unidentified, and Almost Paris. She plays Detective Abigail Baker in 226 episodes of Blue Bloods, and had recurring roles in Couple of Guys and Bromance. Now, I wrote all of these notes and then realized we watched and probably talked about her back in Munch My Benson episode 70, You Don't Blow Up Federal Buildings with Compost, where we were discussing season 8, episode 1, Informed, where she played a paramedic. Joe Tapper is playing Aaron Householder. This is his second SVU, the first time showing up in Infiltrated, which picks up Liv's storyline following the events in Informed. So when she's undercover with the eco-terrorist, picking up the pieces from the episode we just talked about for Abigail Hawke. He is married to Annalee Ashford, who was positively fantastic in October Surprise when we watched that one. She is the mistress who gets sent to Israel. He's done some stage work on and off Broadway. He's in single episodes of Masters of Sex, Blue Bloods, Chicago Med, and Be Positive, 2 of which are Annalee Ashford shows. Raul Esparza playing ADA Barba.
Have we not talked about Barba?
I mean, we haven't really talked about any of the main cast.
That's true, we haven't. Yeah.
And, you know, we've talked about 3 people, and that's all there are to talk about.
Basically.
So let's talk about him as he's leaving the show. Ignominiously.
Only to return a couple seasons later on a regular basis, not on main cast, but...
I mean, just 3 guest spots.
Is that it so far? Just 3?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think so. He was born in Wilmington, Delaware, to Cuban parents who'd left the country because of the Castro regime, his father's family growing disillusioned with the government despite his grandfather's having been established in Castro's sugar ministry. His father and mother escaped by boat to the U.S. in 1966, while his grandfather defected through Spain. He was raised in Miami, graduating from Belen Jesuit in 1988. He got his BFA in drama and his BA in English from NYU's Tisch School of the Arts. On Finding Your Roots, Season 8, Episode 2, if you're tracking it down, he learned that his Catalan great-great-grandparents founded Garcia de Pau Restaurant Supply Store in Madrid, which is still owned and operated by his kin. And they also traced back another branch of his family, 14 generations back, in the small Catalonian village of Navata. He's very well known as a stage actor. In the aughts, he was kind of like one of the big leading men on Broadway. He came to prominence on stage in the 2000 Broadway revival of the Rocky Horror Picture Show, which won him a Theatre World Award. He was the originating performer of the lead role in Tick, Tick, Boom, for which he was Drama Desk Award nominated and won an Obie. That, of course, was just made into a film. He's got 4 Tony nominations for Taboo, Company, The Homecoming, and Speed the Plow. He has been on TV in the main cast in Candy and the upcoming Marling Batmangli follow-up to the OA for FX, Retreat. He's had recurring roles in Pushing Daisies, BoJack Horseman, A Gifted Man, Hannibal, The Path, and Dopesick. He was in 1 episode of Criminal Intent as a different ADA.
Oh, okay. He was an ADA in that one. In the original series, he was a criminal, I think.
Yeah,
right?
He's a different character.
Yeah.
I assume it's criminal. I haven't seen the episode, though. He's also in 119 SVUs and 1 OC as Barba. He came out as bisexual in a New York Times profile in 2006. He was married to his girlfriend from high school, Michelle Marie Perez, from 1994 to 2007. That's it.
Yeah. Well,
Just wanted to talk about Raul Esparza just a bit.
I would
give him something good, because this episode sure didn't.
Before I watched this episode, thought that Barba might be my favorite ADA, if at least in SVU, possibly. I don't know.
This episode is not his fault.
This episode is not kind to the Barba legacy, though.
Is this episode kind to anyone's legacy?
I would say Randy Dworkin comes off pretty well in this one.
Yeah, he's
out
smelling like roses.
Might be the lone bright light of the whole thing.
This is really an episode. So we start off with an extremely fucking weird Jack McCoy eulogizing Ben Stone, who last appeared on the original series in May of 1994.
It's season 4.
Almost a full 24 years earlier than this episode.
Yeah, season 4.
More importantly, you know what that wasn't? Fucking SVU.
I know. And also what it wasn't is that, Ben Stone, the original series. Jack McCoy, sure, Jack McCoy is a cultural icon. Everybody remembers him.
Yeah.
Very few people
I have like the vaguest fucking notion of who Ben Stone was.
Unless you go back and start watching the original series from the beginning.
And how are you going to fucking do that? Because you know what's not streaming anywhere?
Not anymore. It used to be on Netflix at one point. It was.
No.
It was. Because
not the first season.
Yeah, the first. I watched all the Ben Stone seasons. I mean, not recently. Like, we're talking like 10 years ago.
Like 15 years ago.
15 years ago, I watched them all. But they're very good. The Stone and Robinette years are very good. However, they're not fresh in the minds of people in season 19 of fucking SVU, you know?
In February of 2018.
And you know what's not on the mind of really anybody except for possibly Michael Chernuchin? Is Chicago fucking Justice. Because Jack McCoy...
I got notes about that,
because Jack McCoy sits down after his eulogy and looks over at this fucking guy that we're supposed to know, we're supposed to care about, we're supposed to understand what his point is. like
he's not in the opening credits. We know that he's not main cast yet.
No.
Like this is just some rando. I mean, there were dozens of people who watched Chicago Justice.
Yeah, exactly.
Now I did look. I went to Michael Moriarty's IMDb just because, like, I wanted to see when he was last playing Ben Stone, and his bio starts as one of Hollywood's tallest actors, standing at 6'3".
What?
He will always be noticed.
What?
6'3" is not that tall. I'm 6'3".
I mean,
like I've been in a room with Vince Vaughn. You know who's towering over me? Vince Vaughn.
Yeah.
Like Vince Vaughn is one of Hollywood's tallest actors.
Brad Garrett.
6'3" is like normal.
Brad Garrett is a very tall man. But
I mean, obviously Hollywood skews short because short people fit on screen better.
Sure, but
And
still,
you don't have to shoot everything with Apple boxes. But like 6'3" is like, I don't know. Is he even the tallest like Avenger? I don't think so.
It's normal. I mean, it's like maybe the upper level of normal.
It's upper level of normal height people.
Exactly.
Whatever. It's just
you're still only playing point guard in the NBA if you're 6'3", you know?
Yeah.
And you have to be extremely gifted to do that. Yeah.
So I guess the open gives us a decent moment for Waterston to pontificate about the essence of morality while setting up the theme of the episode.
There's a lot of pontification going on in this one. And, I guess actually before we jump into that, I will talk briefly about where the episode gets its name from. So you guys might have noticed The Undiscovered Country. And if you're like me, you're thinking of Star Trek VI.
Absolutely.
You're thinking of James Kirk punching an alien in the balls that happen to be in his knees. Of course, if you are not like poisoned by pop culture
some idiot like us.
Yeah. If you're not poisoned by pop culture, you'll instantly get the reference. And it, of course, is to quite possibly, I don't know, the most famous.
But I don't even remember where it is in that to be or not to be.
Don't worry, Josh, I got you. Of course, I'm gonna have to. There it is. So it is in the to be or not to be soliloquy from Hamlet, Act 3, Scene 1. Basically, like the most famous, monologue that any dude gets to give ever.
That whichever quote Shakespeare wrote that one. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna pick it from a random spot because it's fairly far down the list. It's near the end of it.
That's why it's like it doesn't stick out to me because everyone knows to be or not to be. That is the question.
That's what.
And then you kind of trail off.
Idiots remember that. Now it's now people that enjoyed their Shakespeare would have gotten a little bit further. So we'll start here just because this is one of the more impenetrable lines. If you don't have a thesaurus or Shakespearean dictionary in front of you. With a bare bodkin, who would fardels bear? To grunt and sweat under a weary life, but that the dread of something after death, the undiscovered country from whose bourne no traveller returns, puzzles the will and makes us rather bear those ills we have, than to fly to the others that we know not of. Thus conscience does make cowards of us all, and thus the native hue of resolution is sickled o'er with the pale cast of thought. And enterprises of great pith and moment, with this regard, their currents turn awry and lose the name of action. So it's like the end of the monologue.
But even the undiscovered country part is still like 8 lines up from the end.
Yeah, but the undiscovered country, people think of it because it's referring, of course, to traveling to one's death. So the country that nobody can ever come back from is the undiscovered country. In Star Trek, it means something different, I think. Well, the thing is, it's not even really a highbrow reference because it is a highbrow reference.
It's a low highbrow.
It's a low highbrow because it's not like if you're,
it's still fucking Hamlet in the main soliloquy.
Yeah, right. It's like the most famous part of the most. Yeah. It's
not like they're pulling the title from some Christopher Marlowe play or something.
Yeah, right. Or no, exactly. They're not pulling it from Titus Andronicus or something else. Right? They're pulling it from like the most famous fucking Shakespeare play and the most famous
they're not
part
pulling it
of
from
the most
Taming
famous
of the
one.
Shrew.
Yeah, which
fuck you, Jeopardy.
Exactly.
Dicks.
Josh is still peeved about that. He lost a lot of money on that.
It cost me a lot of money. A lot of fucking money. Cost me over 20 grand.
Damn. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Salute, brother.
I don't have anything. Well, I guess I got a little left to drink.
Now back to this show. I forget what we were talking about. Have we gotten to the householders yet, or are we still talking about the eulogy for Ben Stone?
Still the dumb eulogy. He says, Ben Stone once told him a man shouldn't do what he can; he should do what he must without regard for consequence or repercussion.
Yeah,
which that's what makes us moral. I know the eulogy was supposed to land harder and like feel more poignant, but it really just comes across like Law and Order fanfic, doesn't it? So, well, now I'm at the point where it's, we get to the household.
The fucking householders. Like, god damn it, Chernuchin. Just any
Talk
fucking
about
name.
Mailing it in. So Sandy is duct taped in the cabinet. Then the unit arrives and Benson says, "We've been seeing a lot of these cases, familial kidnappings." It's like, what the fuck? This does not sound like anything Benson would say.
No, it doesn't.
And if that's what's been going on in season 19, Mike, maybe you should have been dipping your toes in some more SVU ponds. Because, I know we just saw the Noah one. The Noah one is, 4 episodes before this? Wasn't Gone Baby Gone in, wasn't that 1909? Or 1908. It's right around there.
Yeah.
But still, we've been seeing a lot of these cases, familial kidnappings.
Well, they did reference that because
yeah, I know they
she
did.
Talks about losing her own kid.
Who cares about that?
The writers of this episode did.
Then we get the mitochondrial DNA depletion syndrome. The mom says it's a genetic thing. It causes muscle weakness that rapidly progresses. I didn't really look into it that much, but that's
I looked it up. So what it doesn't do, though, is necessarily cause this level of symptoms, from my understanding. Like, there's no cure for it. However, in some cases, there's liver failure, right? It's not like the kid is a vegetable within a couple months. It's not ALS for kids.
No.
Which is what this episode kind of makes it seem like. Mm-hmm. That you're just like, your body shuts down and you're dead in no time. Like, I'm looking at it.
They don't have the internet in season 19.
I'm looking at like a Children's Hospital of Philadelphia website about this syndrome. It's extremely rare, and they don't mention anything about this level of illness, right?
Yeah, I looked at a study, but it was mostly regarding prenatal testing. So
yeah,
I don't care about it enough.
Very
this episode
limited due diligence.
Doesn't care enough about it, so I'm not going to.
Dude, fucking householders. They didn't care enough to give these people real names. Like that's it. Like, why didn't you call them like Maggie, like Van Helder or something like that? Even if you're just Dutching her up from householder or something. I don't know. Anyways.
So Maggie acts like without the respirator, that baby Drew won't be able to breathe, and that this is distressing to her.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes no sense because that's what she fucking wants.
Yes, exactly.
The episode should have just ended there. But no, then we get a completely nonsensical script flipping where like, oh no, the dad took the baby because mom wants a baby dad. It's fucking bullshit.
Because mom loves him. Yeah.
Then she asks, Liv asks, were you and Aaron having any problems? And she's like, not that I knew of. And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about here? Because you obviously knew that this was a problem. This was a point of contention between the two of you for months.
When you were pregnant, this was a point of contention. Because he wanted you to get a fucking abortion.
Then Liv tries to bond over Baby Doe being kidnapped, 4 or 5 episodes earlier. No one cares.
And it's like, fuck off, Liv. No one fucking cares. The viewers of the show do not care.
Of course, less than 7.5 minutes in, we've already got a standoff. Chernuchin plays the same 4 notes like he's breathing his last fucking breath.
Wait, so what minute were we at when the standoff starts?
7.5.
So it's 7.5 minutes in.
There's 2 minutes of eulogy, 2 minutes of Ben Stone funeral.
I think there's like 3 full just full on pontification scenes already at this point. At 7.5 minutes in.
Yep.
And then we get
this episode thinks it is deep.
Yeah, and then we immediately launch into another one where Liv and fucking Aaron heart it out. For one thing, what the fuck? I mean, we don't have to address this episode as if it is in the real world, but what?
Oh, it is not.
What the fuck are you doing? Going like, no, you know what? We literally just pulled up on the scene. I'm just pulling out the phone and talking to you, and you know what? No, here's my gun. I'm going inside. What the fuck are you doing?
We also have Liv going into another fucking hostage situation.
Dude,
or
so
standoff
many. I can't believe we haven't been marking this down.
Like, okay, so Liv is in one in just Michael Chernuchin episodes that we've seen so far. Gone Fishing.
Yeah. Gone Baby Doe Gone.
Gone Baby Doe Gone. The Remember Me Too.
What? Yeah, Remember Me Too.
That's season 19 also.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Is that what, 4 or 5?
That's 4. That's 4 right there.
That's 4. There's probably another one. Chernuchin wrote 3 of the ones I just mentioned.
Wow.
If not 4.
So that's already a full 6th of the season is her being in a hostage situation.
Yep.
Wow.
No Good Reason is the one where she doesn't have a hostage situation, but she does have a Lyceum.
Yeah. Chasing Demons was kind of a hostage situation, but for the viewers, because
yeah. that was more metaphorical and reflexive.
Yeah.
God damn it! It's just like, what the fuck, man.
Yeah.
And this one obviously doesn't mean anything.
Well, it's really trying to get deep onto like medical ethical questions. So like Megan, who's doing a medical ethics like master's program, was like interested in that, right? But I was like, no, but you're seeing the trees and missing the forest, Megan, because this episode is absolute dog shit, regardless of whether this question is like mildly interesting the first time you think about it.
Yeah, like theoretically, this episode could have been interesting.
Yeah, like
what it was not was interesting in reality.
No.
Like while you're watching this, holy shit, is this not interesting?
No. Yeah.
Okay, when Liv is walking in, she says aloud that she's going to take off her gloves, but she's not like mouthing it so obviously that he could read her lips from the window, and she's not on the phone. So who the fuck is she talking to when she's saying, I'm taking off my gloves above her head like that? What the fuck, man?
Not the only weird kind of non sequitur line in this.
I'm 100% sure there's no script supervisor in season 19.
Yeah,
or if there is, they were cowed into submission like during the first episode and just were like, whatever, man. I'll take the check.
If Mike wants to do it, we're doing it. Yeah.
God, this is just baffling. There's nothing that makes sense. I thought it was weird that the paintball gun looks like an AK.
I know. It doesn't look like a paintball gun to me.
I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't, at least not from first glance.
Not any paintball gun that I've ever seen, because
yeah,
usually they have
guess
like
there could be some that look like fucking AKs, but like it has a magazine. It has a normal AK magazine.
I know if Aaron Householder was a young black child, he would have gotten murked by those cops outside.
Oh yeah, for sure. Man, it's like every line that comes out of Liv's mouth in this episode just doesn't sound like a word that could have come out of her mouth in any other fucking season.
And every look on her face.
Well, I think I honestly think that she is having like, for season 19, is just out of body the whole
That's
season,
what it looks like. I mean, it looks
you
like
can't possibly like it's got to be so jarring to have everything that you say make no sense.
Yeah.
After having had it made sense for, the bulk of 18 seasons.
I mean, it just looks like, and I obviously I don't know what the direction is like. I don't know what the relationship with the script and what
she's an EP
is
at this point.
Still,
But I mean, EP in like title and points only kind of.
But you can say that it's like Mariska Hargitay's show, but you can tell watching these Chernuchin years episodes that there's definitely like the showrunner has a big part to play in these, right? And it seems to me like in these season 19 episodes, this one in particular, it seems like she's on some like cocktail of Botox and Xanax that just has her completely zonked, and she just has no idea where she is or why she's there.
If you had to use something as an object lesson for the importance of a showrunner and what their role is, season 19 of SVU.
Yeah.
Presumably 20, but we've somehow watched...
We've watched one. We've watched literally one.
One from 20 and like 13 from season 19.
I think we've watched 10 from season 19 at this point. I could go look, but...
It's so many, and it's just... if you needed to understand what a showrunner does, watch this compared to like a season 5 episode.
Yeah, like,
well, maybe not season 5 because they hate their moms, but...
watch like like peak Neil Barriers, right? When the show is humming on all cylinders, and it's still completely procedural. But it is humming, and it's totally
and it somehow
different.
Operates in a heightened reality, but like still almost the real world. This is definitely trying to talk about lofty issues. It is not working.
It is throwing punches and missing them.
It's missing like fundamental understanding for how like TV still should work.
It's amazing. It's really amazing stuff.
I guess this is a baseball episode.
I guess it's a baseball episode. Aaron really wants to go to the Yankees with his kid all the way from Sheepshead Bay, I guess, but
yeah,
it's a long trip, man. I would just
that's just the rental.
I guess that's just a rental.
Like, yeah. They're not in Sheepshead Bay.
Yeah, they were in Manhattan somewhere. Yeah. Still, from that rental, you're very close to the Cyclones. So you get your AA ball on.
Sure.
It's one of the best AA parks in.
Well, in 2018, it was not AA. It was New York Penn League.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it still was Penn League back then.
I think we both would rather talk about how fucked minor league baseball is after Rob Manfred contracted things more than this episode.
Such an asshole.
I don't think that listeners want to hear us talk about it. I have one more little bit to talk about with the standoff.
Okay.
What's Aaron's rationale here?
Yeah, what's his
motivation at all about any of this? How is this going to play out in his like ideal world?
Well, I think that, for one thing,
because he has this dumb paintball gun that looks like an AK, so he's clearly like thought that far ahead.
But
the character is meant to have thought that.
He also purchased a ventilator. He spent $8,000 on a ventilator, so he thought that far ahead. So what's he going to do? He's on the land with his kid in a ventilator. The kid cannot lose power, right? So how is he going to keep this thing? Does he have a Honda generator in the back of the car or something that he's going to be driving across state lines with to keep this kid alive? What's his play?
Well, I think they have a ventilator and a battery to have the kid moving short distances, right?
I don't know.
That's what my presumption is.
Yeah, but how long does it last?
Not that long.
Yeah.
I don't know what his end game. There's no
inverter,
discernible end game that I can tell.
Mm-hmm. Can you run those things off DC, or does it have to be AC? I don't know.
Man, both parents are just so bad in this.
These householders are not good.
Like it's awful, weepy parent performances, like really terrible.
And a lot of them. Like,
yeah, there's a lot of screen time dedicated to both of them, and they are both fucking bad.
Each time we see them, it's a like solid 3 to 5 minutes of weep.
And I mean, like, I don't want to fully blame them because the material is terrible, but watching them do this material, which is, I mean,
they're not helping themselves out.
Even you and me. Like, okay, you're given this much screen time in an episode. You're making an okay check for this episode for both of them, and there's no fucking way you can put it on your reel.
Absolutely not. No, nobody can see this.
It's bad.
You're calling NBC executives and asking them to pull this episode. Like you don't want this in syndication.
Yeah, if you've got a powerful agent, you're trying to kill this. So the mom says she's super worried about a humane way to kill her son. But then she's totally cool with just pulling the plug and ultimately having Barba just pull it.
Yeah.
Like, is this the humane thing that they're waiting on the court order for? Like, this, it doesn't make any sense. So when I don't understand why they would possibly let Maggie into the interrogation room with Aaron.
No, of course.
But they do.
And they hug it out.
And the cry hug in interrogation is so bad that when Barba says Christ, you assume that it's a reaction to how bad the cry hug was and not because of anything that's happened in any
It's true. This is about the moment when Barba leaves, when he leaves his Barba and he becomes a different character for the rest of the episode.
Uh-huh. Yeah, because he is no longer Barba after
By
this.
the end of it, he is not remotely Barba.
No.
He's Barba when he's sitting there at fucking the Ben Stone funeral, but he's not Barba after this.
No.
But
so we get that dumb bench lunch with D.A. McCoy.
Yeah.
He says res ipsa loquitur, which in legal doctrine, it's where a court can infer negligence from the very nature of an accident or injury in the absence of direct evidence or on how any defendant behaved. It literally means the thing speaks for itself.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure that it's actually apropos to explain why Peter didn't speak at his father's service.
Yeah.
I guess you could make a two-step inference from this, but it just doesn't feel right.
No, it does. It maybe does. No, it doesn't feel right.
It doesn't, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to think too hard about this episode because they obviously didn't, but...
Well, but they thought they were thinking hard about it. They thought they were being deep, right?
Yeah.
I don't even know if I should say this
This
on
is
air.
kind of... This is tantamount... This feels to me like you're reading the poetry of a high schooler who's trying to be deep.
Josh, you know what this reminds me of? I don't want to say names, but it reminds me of something that you had, a project that you had your name attached to at one point, that then how should I say this?
There's no way that person's listening.
Partners decided to rewrite it without your input, and then decided to submit that thing that they rewrote without your input.
No. That's not what happened. They submitted something else entirely.
Okay. So your name was not attached to that.
My name was mercifully not attached to that
Still,
thing.
What this episode reminded me of was a lot of that.
No, the thing that you've read is the thing that you have read is my notes on that that were requested, which were coming from a place that was very angry and very salty because we had a polished thing that did not get sent, and instead of the polished thing, it was...
But the thing that was sent...
total mess.
Had a lot of, I guess, stuff that the writer thought was deep in it that was not deep. And that's what this episode really struck me with, was a lot of, wow, these people thought they were having a deep conversation about fatherhood. And
man, we're going to get some questions about this. Anyway,
the nature of existence and what morality, what's moral for a prosecutor and stuff like that. And it's this, you've been doing this goddamn show for, what is it, over 30 years in its various permutations, right? The Law and Order universe. You don't need to tell us.
At this point, it was 28 years.
Okay, 28 years. Mm-hmm. But if we haven't figured out by now, what our kind of thoughts on that are, this episode telling us, as opposed to us seeing it evolve over this time, it's not going to make it happen.
Show don't tell, man. Show don't
and
tell.
This is a
this
perfect
episode
example
only
of that.
tells and does not show.
No, it does not show. It occasionally shows a precious little infant with goddamn mask on. I don't know how they did that without that kid.
It's not a real kid.
You don't think that was a real kid?
No, that's a prop kid.
No, it seemed to be breathing.
There's no way it's not a prop kid.
It seemed to be breathing, but you're right. It was kind of motionless. No living child would accept that shit.
Yeah, you can't dope up a baby to have them lay still. Okay, so we find out Ben Stone was an absentee father.
Yeah.
that's kind of, I guess, all we really get ultimately from that dumb bench lunch.
Dude, it goes on forever, too.
No fucking reason whatsoever. Ben Stone, who, again, we don't really know, sits in the ADA's seat in a random empty courtroom. Sorry, yeah, Peter's. Yeah,
we don't really know either one of them.
Yeah, we don't know either one, but we definitely don't know Peter.
I actually sort of know Ben Stone, but not from very recently. But God, Peter Stone, no idea.
Sorry. So Peter Stone sits in an ADA seat in a random empty courtroom and weeps into his tightly clenched hand over his eyes because obviously he's not going to be able to reach any emotional moment for this scene.
He's not really built for that,
make sure that you can't cry. Make sure that you can't see that he's not crying, rather.
Yeah. And it's a random court. It's not the courtroom that we are in.
Random empty courtroom.
Yeah, it's not the courtroom we're in nearly every episode.
Nope. Well, it probably is, but who knows?
It's not because we can tell it's not because it doesn't have the bench that the judge sits at. It doesn't have the mural on the wall. It doesn't have those like touches that we see. It's I think it's fairly obvious that it's meant to symbolize where his father chose to be rather than spending his time with his son. I guess.
But we know almost nothing about this character because no one watched Chicago Justice, and this character would have zero relationship to that specific courtroom because there's no way he watched his father try cases in there.
I had to go back and see, like, did Ben Stone come back as like a cameo judge at some point? No, he never did. Never did.
Nope. Done after season 4.
And I'm telling you, in those years, in the early seasons there was no, like, fleshing out of these characters. Yeah. There's no serialization. I mean, you knew a tiny bit about them, but only in as far as it would, like, further that week's episode. So Stone in particular was just like, he's the older, wiser ADA. Basically, that was his role. That scene is interminable. I just skipped it the second time I watched it. I was like, there's nothing for me here. I don't need to watch this. Like, what's the fucking point? Then we get...
Well, I guess we find out that he almost had a no-hitter.
Yeah.
Although I don't know what... they make it sound like his father was able to watch it, but from my understanding, he was a minor leaguer who maybe had a cup of coffee in the majors.
But then, I'm very confused. And then, like, it's like... Okay, so what are these fans?
It's like Chernuchin knows random baseball words, but doesn't know what they mean and doesn't know that you can't really watch the minors. It's certainly not in 2018. You couldn't, certainly not in like 2000 or whenever the fuck that would have been, that you could have watched.
Yeah, you can't just watch an Iowa Cubs game, right? But like what team are McCoy and company fans of that would make the Cubs their arch enemies? Which also had me confused because it's like,
they're all Cardinals fans?
I know, right? Like, what? Who cares? Like, are they?
Literally no one in New York gives a fuck about the Cubs.
No one gives a fuck about the Cubs. Mets fans don't give a fuck about the Cubs.
It's not like he went to play for the fucking, like, Red Sox.
Yeah, that would be something. The Red Sox would be something. I'm trying to think of anybody else who would even...
The Phillies?
Phillies, maybe, yeah. For the Mets, yeah, the Phillies would be the equivalent. But maybe the Braves. But I think at this point the Astros, but that's only like post trash can.
That's also like presupposing that the Yankees weren't also fucking stealing signs.
Which I get it. I get it. But I went to a Yankees Astros game and there was
I understand.
There's energy in the stadium.
I know there's
Josh.
vitriol, a lot of it, but it's bullshit. It's like. It's this wish casting that you were somehow above the fray and you were not Yankees fans. This episode is basically, we get an alien. A fucking alien.
A literal alien. Like, I don't...
Someone from outer space who doesn't understand
If you've ever seen
really.
The Man Who Fell to Earth, David Bowie plays a character who looks human. He's confused as he's walking around. Uh-huh. He doesn't really have human emotions. He doesn't know how to interact with common objects that he encounters. And I would say many of those things apply to Philip Winchester's performance as Peter Stone.
Well, I was saying that we've got a fucking alien writing an exit story for a character.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about
to make
Peter
a case
Stone
be
character.
so personal as to render that character insane. Like, it's complete hogwash.
It sure is.
So we find out that Barba's dad, who he hated, was in a diabetic coma, and he couldn't bring himself to pull the plug on dear old dickhead dad.
Now, I have to say I'm not familiar enough with the Barba canon to know if this is brought up before.
At all.
I know that we watched that one that we were just talking about at the October Surprise, and I don't think there was any mention of Barba's father in that.
No mention of his father.
Which was a big Barba backstory one.
Now, it's really fucking disgusting how many times people call baby Drew beautiful.
Yeah. They really call him beautiful a lot. And they have these... He's so perfect. I understand why...
Pretty sure that MDDS makes him very much not perfect.
Yeah, I mean, he's like... Mom calls him a lump of flesh multiple times.
Yeah.
Dad hates him because he can't go to a Yankees game with him. It's... It really... I think the only reason the dad wants to keep him alive...
It's despite her for not having an abortion.
Kind of. It's not really established that he himself has this like. The religious connotations of it are weird too. Like, I don't know. Aren't you allowed to die in Catholicism? That's something that I'm a little confused on. That's something that I'm not clear about.
No, you cannot die.
I'm not clear about
Catholics cannot die.
Because it sounds
you know what's
like
a really Catholic last name too? Householder.
Householder. It's a long line of householders going back to the fucking
3 popes. 3 popes were born householder.
They were anti-popes though, so it was like a little, they were all Hohenzollern popes. Anyways, dude,
everyone is given these extended bits of moralizing dialogue that are just terrible and in a profoundly bad episode of television, which makes it all so much worse. So the second time when she breaks down after not being able to flip the power off, I laughed so hard at how bad she was in that scene.
Dude, the whole scene was rough. The whole scene, both of them.
But it was, when she broke down not being able to flip the switch, it was comically terrible.
Dude, and I am Familia Esparza here. Like, I love that man. I think he's great. And that scene is bad.
Uh-huh.
It's not his worst scene in this. It gets worse from here. But that scene is bad.
Holy shit, does it? Okay, so we don't even get a shot of Barba turning off the respirator.
No.
We just are tight on his face. There's no shot. We know they set the camera up for that shot.
Button. We saw the button.
We saw the button. It's fucking insane to me that they don't pay off with the flip of the switch. Okay,
I was so confused. I didn't even realize that it had been done when the first time I watched it. I was like, because I was half watching it, and I'm like, wait, he pressed the button? When did he press the button? We never saw that. Like, what?
Don't worry, you didn't miss anything because it didn't fucking happen on screen. So then Barba echoes McCoy's eulogy on the street, saying that sometimes you have to act without concern for the consequences. This is like the only moment in the episode where like you get the sense that there might have been someone in the room who understands how television is supposed to work, because you have the setup and the like payoff here.
And this scene kind of works, like Liv walking
but
up.
You
had
to have been paying attention to the eulogy, which I absolutely was not the first time, because who gives a fuck at a certain point?
Of course. Yeah, because I mean,
and that certain point was the moment I turned on the episode. But
like something like 18 seasons into Jack McCoy's run as an ADA, I kind of turned off the the shaking head moralizing routine. Like there's a certain point in the episode where it's like Lenny Briscoe's not coming back, Green's not coming back.
No,
it's over for me. Anthony Anderson's not coming back. Anyways.
Oh, he's back. Don't worry.
I know.
When Raul Esparza got the script for this episode, he had to be thinking to himself, this is how I go out.
Yeah.
This is how I go out. This episode, I'm supposed to act this out.
Mm-hmm.
And this is my exit. This is the tender, conflicted episode where like my character is supposed to get like, I don't know, a send-off that means something.
Yeah, can't I just get shot in a courtroom, right?
Yeah. can't I just can't there at least be like an attempt on my life and I have to go into WITSEC or something?
Yeah, we've already
Wouldn't
like,
that
had that established. Bring back those gang members, right?
Well, no, the Cabot one is
No, but
is it gang members?
No, but there was
it's
Barba himself had that gang who was after
right.
him, right? That like
Yep.
they would have been a great way to get rid of him.
So McCoy introduces Stone to Liv.
Yeah.
Saying that he's going to be taking up the case as special prosecutor.
He's a hot shot Chicago.
Hot shot out of town special prosecutor to work the people versus Rafael Barba.
He's our pub style prosecutor showing up here.
And Liv says
he's got a mouthful of mallard. That's how he can act so goddamn well.
Fucking Malort. So Liv says, I sure hope you suck.
I know. Who talks like that? Who? What?
Not Liv.
No.
Not Liv for 18 seasons.
No.
Liv has never talked that way. So then we smash cut to Barba in Dworkin's office.
Yeah.
And Dworkin laughing about how this was more surprising than Ben McAdoo benching Eli Manning. Was funny. That was a whole thing where he was trying to he basically, the writing was on the wall that McAdoo was fired already. That he was just playing out the string on the season and there were like 5 games left, and so he broke Eli Manning's like consecutive game streak.
That's awesome.
To play Geno Smith.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Just to like get the guys behind him playing time to see if they were like adequate backups, I guess. That's what he said his rationale was. Anyway, so Dworkin says, so what did the little bastard do to you?
Yeah, I know. It was really good. It was I have to get rid of the self-defense argument.
Yeah, that's like a straight up like legit laugh line.
Yeah.
That's the only like actual intentionally funny thing that happens in this episode.
It's the only intentionally good thing that happens in this episode.
Yeah, sure. And like he's really chewing on scenery again in this office. Like he's convincing. He gets to do it here. He convinces Barba to go with him as a defense attorney.
Sure.
He like sort of gets to do his little dance, and then in the courtroom, fucking nothing.
Yeah, they don't let him do anything in the courtroom.
Nope.
He has 3 lines or something in the courtroom. Hardly anything.
Yeah.
And in this scene, he's like commanding the scene. He's having fun. He's doing his act, which is fun, right? Like we've seen him a few times now, and he's usually fun, even when the episode is ridiculous. Even when he's Bart Conzel and he's like an absurd shirt on, and he's playing a character that does like he should not have been cast for
a shirt with 5 buttons, not buttons.
And like he has like 6 different ridiculous silk shirts in that episode, but still like episodes.
Only 1 button above the belt.
Yeah.
That's the only one that's done.
Tons of fun.
Okay, so yeah, lots of fun.
Yeah.
But he doesn't get to do anything here. Now, in the courtroom, Stone says to Maggie on the stand, in other words, you knew your child would have MDDS, and yet you still refuse to have the abortion, which is quite literally not what she just read.
No, it's not. And
she said that she was informed of the likelihood that her child might develop MDDS and of its consequences. That is literally what she said on the stand.
Yes. And the thing about like most of these prenatal screens, you never have 100% certainty about this shit.
No, exactly.
So I don't have the moral high ground on this issue anymore. But Josh, in what universe in this fucking country is a prosecuting attorney like demanding that a woman have an abortion? Like you can with a straight face say like, yes, I demand that you have an abortion. You can be 100% pro-abortion, right? I cannot anymore.
Yeah.
I can know.
Yeah, I can die on that hill.
I cannot go to my vehement voluntary human extinction movement meetings and hold my chin up high anymore. I've forfeited that claim.
Procreated, you asshole.
Exactly. but I feel bad about it. Okay. But still, it's insanity that was not objected to. Now, there was another moment in this where there was an objection. I don't have the note where it just like the judge never ruled on the objection. Just like Barba's on the witness stand, somebody says objection to what the questioning was, and then they just ignore it, and Barba starts talking, which, in my understanding, is not really how TV judges generally work. Like, usually they say overruled, and then you keep going or whatever.
Or sustained.
Obviously.
So, during the trial, but outside of the courtroom, on the courthouse steps, Benson and Stone have the following exchange. Benson, have you spoken to Raphael Barba? Stone, actually, the law says I can't. Benson, well, look, forget the law for a minute. Look into his eyes. Talk to him. That man lives in a place that the men who wrote the law don't even think about.
What does that mean?
Utter nonsense. Stone, well, down here amongst us mere mortals, he's a Class A felon. Benson, you don't have kids, do you? Stone, no, I don't. Benson, yeah, well, their pain is your pain. Raphael knows that.
So I know that I commit felonies every day on Max's behalf, and I get a pass because of that. I get the... you just... Oh, I'm sorry I stomped on your face. I got the kid card.
That man lives in a place that the men who wrote the law don't even think about.
That's deep, man.
What does that fucking mean?
That's deep, man. Did anybody read this besides
No.
Michael Chernuchin?
If they did, he must have run the writer's room like a tyrant. Like, there is no other excuse for how that went out the door and got to set to shoot. It is horrible. Well, then she had to say, you wouldn't know a reasonable man if he fell out of the sky and landed at your feet.
I know, but like, where did the reasonable man... All you lawyers and your reasonable men.
Reasonable men. Where is that coming
Where does
from?
that come from?
He's not arguing that. This is fucking nonsense. Okay, so then we get to the absolute worst scene in the episode.
Barba on the stand?
Yep.
Where he cries, talking about flowers and Bach and clouds and shit? That one?
About baby Drew not knowing all of these things. And it's meant to be heartrending.
Like, I did not write out the line, but it was...
No, God,
it
no,
was
do not.
Don't
bother
worst,
yourself with it.
It was some of the worst writing that I've ever heard.
And
in any media.
It's like, he's trying to put lipstick on the pig here, but he got a butchered pig.
Oh, he got done dirty, man.
Yeah. Like, the lips are with the asshole and they're all in a sausage because this is awful. And like, what
there's nothing you can do with this shit.
It's one of those things. Okay. Chernuchin, I think, thought that he was writing Barba's Emmy episode. This is the worst episode we've ever seen, right?
I think it has to be because we
have so many insane things that established characters,
yeah, that's
doing
exactly
in this episode
right.
that they're just.
So, like, you can watch Asunder and go, like, I don't care about these people. I don't know these people. They're bad. Mm. But when you watch this one, I do know Raphael Barba.
Yeah.
And I know that...
I know the perp.
I know, like, 13 minutes in, he stops being the character that we know. And, like, his actions don't make sense. And
over 100 episodes of Barba.
The way the lines he's speaking do not sound like Barba, right? Like I know
the lines that Liv is speaking don't sound like Liv either. It is.
Yeah, I guess I'm more comfortable with that because I've seen enough of season 19 Liv that I kind of like I've come to expect the like confused, drugged face that she makes in these episodes. Jesus Christ, it's really brutal. It's really bad. I don't know what saves it in any category.
No. Okay, so when the verdict is read and Barba gets off, Stone turns to Maggie and says, "Well done." I just have what? 3 question marks. My note for this whole episode just should have been, what? Then Liv says she feels guilty because she called him about this case. It's like,
he is the assistant district attorney.
He's the fucking ADA.
You have to call him.
He's your ADA. Who else were you going to call, you fuck? What? There's a procedure to these things.
The guy's
how is this? How could you possibly feel guilt over doing the thing that you're supposed to do?
The guy stuffed, like, duct taped a high school girl around the face and hands and stuffed her in a closet and stole a child that depends on life support. You have to call the district attorney's office. Like there have to be charges filed.
Then we find out that Barba doesn't see the world in black and white anymore because of Liv.
He sees it in gray, and in blue, and in purple, and in green.
Like, I'm so fucking aggravated by this episode making no sense, setting years of character development ablaze.
Yeah.
That I'm not even going to bother trying to make sense of his thanking her for opening his heart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he's moving on somewhere. We don't know where he's moving on to.
But you know why he's moving on?
Why?
Because this writing is horrible.
You think he quit? He was like, I can't do this anymore.
I sure hope so for his sake.
Yeah. Maybe he's going to be honest.
Because, I mean, season 18 wasn't great. And then
man,
he probably saw one script from season 19 and was like, I got stuff on Broadway I want to do. On Broadway.
So let's rank this episode, Josh. So obviously we rank these episodes each and every week. We're trying to see where all these episodes fit in against the entire canon of SVUs that we'll eventually have watched. Now we have watched.
I don't know where this one's going to come down.
We watched. This is the 120th episode of this show that we have watched.
Sure is.
And at this point, the lowest score that we've seen on our composite score is a 1.5. That means it got 2 1s on our scale and 2 2s. Now, we rank every 1 to 10 scale on quality, guests, problematic, and depth and breadth of lives ruined. Now, the question for us, right? I don't think the question is it going to approach the 10 that Possessed achieved?
Nope.
I don't think that's an issue.
It's not going there.
But I wonder...
does this fully bring up the rear?
It's interesting. So I know, obviously, quality is an easy one, right? Do we need... I
mean, quality is so bad that I feel like it's a 0.
But can we give it a...
But we've...
I mean,
one. No, it's a 1.
We gave 0.5s in like the first 10 episodes, and I don't feel like we can really justifiably do that anymore because we haven't been doing that. So,
no.
1. It's a 1.
1.
Now...
We don't even need to discuss it.
Guests...
I mean... Okay, Stone, guest, not good.
Terrible.
McCoy...
So I guess the question is just...
The householders bring this down so hard, so fast.
But does one scene of Peter Jacobson equal a 2? And I don't know that it does, because the rest of it is so fucking bad. Like...
he's the only reason you would consider it not being a 1.
Yes.
But it's a 1.
Yeah, my thinking is like, oh, it's a 2 because that Jacobson was so good. But then I remember he's in it for 2 minutes. And
I mean, all of the Maggie householder scenes are completely brutal.
Brutal. And like the scene in the hospital, brutal.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, the Aaron standoff with the fucking gun in hand, also awful.
The fucking Waterston scenes are all brutal to watch.
Yeah.
It's not like
no,
Waterston.
I mean, it's full on just caricature, but like it's written so terribly. This episode made Barba awful.
Yes.
He's not a guest, but like that's got to go somewhere, right? And it's
again, it's like it's just
a 1.
Yeah, both householders. If it was one householder that was bad, maybe Jacobson pulls it to a 2, but
like I feel like in season 19 they somehow wronged the casting director that worked with them for 18 years, and they ended up with a casting director who didn't know any actors. But that's just not... It's because it's kind of routinely this bad in 19... But I mean, the writing's awful. I don't know how much of it is on the actors, but...
Because, okay, the reason I don't think it's on...
when you see this awful material?
The reason I don't think it's on them, I think it's on the producer and the writers, is that, like, there's, like, multiple scenes where Raul Esparza is fucking awful.
I can't recall another situation where we've seen that happen. And I've seen him in other things. Like, he's great in Hannibal.
Yeah, I think like Cabot is probably the most iconic SVU lawyer.
I mean, it's definitely either Cabot or Barba.
Yeah,
it's
but
one A,
I think but to me personally, like when like I don't mind Barba court scenes. Like oftentimes they're really fun.
Yeah.
He brings like a life to it that is
there
really
are
nice.
really good Cabot court scenes too. Like when she's going up against CCH Pounder.
Yeah, you're right. Those were fun. Like the two methods exam.
Two methods exam in Riddick.
Yeah, but you're right. No, but I think Barba is fantastic and really like he has like a life to the character. There's like a brightness in his eyes, and it's fun, and he's able to kind of like get the law stuff out in a way that still like gets
in a way that's like
that's fun to watch.
Sincerely engaging as a viewer.
Absolutely, which is tough. It's not easy because again,
no. It's a thankless job, and he somehow pulls it off with a blow.
Again, to somebody who's watched like
not in this episode,
like 18 seasons of Jack McCoy, it's you can't do it forever in the same way. It's hard, but okay, one on guess, one on quality. Problematic. I think the most problematic thing for me is that they didn't fucking show Barba hit the switch.
Yeah.
What the hell, man? Otherwise, I don't care. I think it's a one. Problematic. It's not problematic to me. Now, this one is where it might not be just a straight one. I think you can argue that because, principal cast member for over 100 episodes is gone because of the course of this episode. You could argue that it's a 2. But the way he goes out is so fucking bad.
Yeah, I mean, the only way it's a 2 is if you fucking completely detach yourself from having watched the episode. Like any way that it gets to a 2 is off the page. It's outside of this episode.
Yeah, I mean the kid.
I think it has to be a 1.
The kid deserved to die. You can't even feel bad. You can't feel bad that the child is dead. Nobody feels bad that the child is dead. They just feel relief. Anyways, the child was dead like probably months before this happened.
Yeah.
So yeah, 1. Actually, I might bump it to a 2 because I had to watch it. So, I tried to watch this with an open mind because Josh kind of telegraphed that this was a bad episode, but it was very difficult to.
There's no way that my telegraphing that tainted your viewing at all.
Like, I knew who Philip Winchester is. I know who he is.
Yeah. We've seen episodes with him.
But
if you were watching this for the first time.
Were I a regular, like, weekly SVU watcher, and I was watching this for the first time, I would have no idea what the fuck was going on from the first minute of this episode. And I would be incensed by the end of it. It's like, what? You just wrote out one of my favorite characters, like the one who is able to hold screen time, who's not Liv. Because sometimes Rollins does, but Finn...
To bring on this hunk of meat?
Yeah, Finn very rarely pulls much screen time, He's on every episode, but he doesn't pull very much.
He is collecting those checks, and I do not blame him.
More power to you.
Good on you, Ice-T.
I liked Ice-T's.
Get paid.
I liked Ice-T's wardrobe in this episode. He was looking classy.
I don't even fucking remember it because
he was doing a casual sport coat, but like nose tie kind of look. But he looked crisp. He looked put together. Sometimes you get those later Finns. He's a little schlubby. Not schlubby in this one at all. It looks like he maybe been working out. He was kind of tight in the midsection. So
he was probably touring.
Yeah, good for him. So if you guys are keeping track, that gives us a 1, which makes this the worst episode of the show that we've ever seen. Now, sad to say, it's a little disappointing that we can't rate an episode worse than this, but we can watch another episode that's just as bad as this, and I guess now we get to find out what the next one's going to be. Hopefully it's not a season 19 episode, Josh, I gotta say.
So, heading over to episode.lol, which was built for this podcast by friend of the pod, Flet. Tape is spinning. Bill and Ted, displeased.
Mm-hmm.
And we're watching another season that doesn't really understand what this show is.
Interesting.
Season 1.
Oh, for different reasons.
Episode 4.
Interesting.
Hysteria.
Wow.
When a young woman is found dead, she is initially believed to be a prostitute and the latest in a long line of victims. But when looking into her home life, Benson and Stabler realize that she does not fit the pattern
Ooh.
and may not be connected to the other deaths after all. But the other deaths have a connection no one anticipated.
Interesting. Sex crimes, man.
Sex
I'm
crimes.
stoked to get back to sex crimes.
Jerry Orbach will be in this one.
Nice, really. Cool.
I'm looking at the other guest stars, and I do not recognize
No
any of these
other
names.
TOS principals in this one? No Green, no
No, I don't know these names. Doesn't matter.
yeah.
Sounds
No
weird.
Logan. Yeah, it does sound weird. Sounds awesome.
You know what it can't be? Worse than
No,
this
it can't
one.
be. It literally cannot
It
be
could
worse
be
than
as
this.
bad, but it cannot be worse. So thanks, Munchies. Thanks, Karen.
Yeah. Well, you know what, Josh? We never have to watch this episode again. So thank you for
never.
that.
Trust me, never again. And now we will reference it a lot because of how dirty they did Barba.
Dude, they fucked him over, man. They really fucked him.
So hard. Okay, so as always, we have a Patreon.
Yeah.
$5 a month. You get all of these episodes uncut. With this one, will have
A lot.
at least 20 extra minutes of
At
content.
least.
At
least.
probably more.
Yeah.
You get video and audio of all of these a week ahead of time, uncut. You also get our monthly movie club selections. The most recent one will have been Wolfen.
Mm-hmm.
We are on the socials on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram as Munch My Benson. We are on Reddit. We have a subreddit r/Munch My Benson. We have an email account that you can email your questions, concerns, and adulation to. That is munchmybenson@gmail.com. And we have a website with a bunch of information on it, munchmybenson.com. The episodes you could stream there if you wanted. We've got old blog entries, links to the merch page, working on some new merch along with some other new merch. Yeah. Adam's perpetually working on the Who's Gonna Change My Bag merch. We're also, one of our faithful Munchies came up with the great idea to do some Bad Moms Club merch, which sounds pretty awesome.
It sounds pretty awesome.
That.
Yeah, that's it. I have to come up with a visual concept to how to make it work. But yeah, I do like it. We've seen some bad moms, man.
Yeah, I feel like there might be a spoon involved.
Yeah, the spoon will definitely be there.
Spoon's going to be there. Rice cakes will be there. Please rate and review the podcast wherever you can do that. Good Pods, Apple Podcasts, all that shit.
Yeah, man. And if you're ever in a really traumatic experience, try to keep the philosophy a little bit higher level, right? Like read, get a Norton's Handbook or something before you start having these philosophical conversations. Because the shit was brutal. It's hard to watch.
So bad.
There were these, flowers on the table next to Drew's crib. Orange roses. He would never know how wonderful they are. He couldn't smell them. His mom was playing one of Bach's cantatas from her phone. The Eternal Bach. Drew couldn't hear it. He'd never see a cloud, a rainbow, the sun, the moon. The bottom line is that he would never even know that these things existed. He didn't know if he was hungry or thirsty. He couldn't recognize the faces of his mother or his father. All that he did know, all that he would ever know, is the pain that was his so-called life.